bring the truth to me. You ain't know your expectations. I don't even want your congratulations. I recognize your false confidence.
Hey, Russell Hotels going live just for a couple of minutes. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Monday, April 6th. I know we're a little late. It's about 9:19, 9:20, somewhere around there. But you know how Tiffany is sometimes. Sometimes
don't start, Russell. Don't start. We said we were going to be good today, remember?
There's always some drama. You know what I mean? There's always a bit of drama. But hey, Mondays are devoted to Miss Tiffany English being on the show. So this is a daily check-in with Tiffany English and Russell of Hotels. So there you go. So how are you, Miss Tiffany? How was your Easter?
I'm good. Yes, happy Monday. Good Easter, you know, low key. No Easter basket, but that's okay.
Did you do anything fun?
No, not so much.
No,
not so much.
Okay, well, I didn't either. I didn't even cook. Normally I would cook and stuff like that, but no, I don't know. Just wasn't in the Easter mood or something. I don't know. Because normally you do it for, the kids. The kids ain't here. You know what I mean? So and there was really no reason to do a fuss. No one came over. No one didn't get invited anywhere.
Nothing, huh? Just sitting at home twiddling your thumbs, right? That's what happens.
Trying to figure out what the heck I'm gonna do today. You know what I mean? So I just said I did watch women's basketball yesterday, the championship game.
Yeah.
So, I did watch that. Shout out to
so
UCLA. Close. UCLA right down the street whooped on South Carolina. I wanted South Carolina to win, but you know what? I was not disappointed in the game and how UCLA showed up. So they've been showing up all year, and they were definitely a stronger team. So, hey, there you go. So anyway.
I was hoping for Illinois, men's. We didn't get it. So Illinois and UConn.
Oh, God. Anyway, move on from Illinois. What are they? What are they?
Now. Go. Don't start, Russell. Don't start.
Whatever, Illinois. Yeah, right. Okay. So anyway, so Tiffany and I come on, and we always have some type of topic. Well, but anyway, before I get into that, we're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So just remember, on Instagram, although we're live there, but when it's done being live, it will not be on my Instagram page, so you can't go back later and check it out. I'm not sure about Tiffany. I'm not sure if Tiffany.
Oh, so you don't repost? You just catch me live.
You better catch me if you're gonna catch me on Instagram. Catch me right now. Okay.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah. It's too much work. Too much work to go back over there and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
we got other things to do. We can't do this all day.
Exactly.
Whole jobs, whole work to do.
Exactly. Some people got stuff to do. In fact, I was okay. So I did this group. I mean, just real quick. I had this group for this hotel in LAX. It was at the Hyatt House, Hyatt Place. Okay, which is right on Century Boulevard, the main street that feeds into LAX. And I'd had this contract, done, give it to the client, whatever. And they end up saying they didn't want the contract. They said they'll use the hotel, but they're going to make the reservations individually. So it won't be a group. I'm like, whatever. They didn't want to take on the responsibility. Somebody didn't want to take on the responsibility for
okay.
I'm like, okay. I mean, things happen, but they'll still make the reservations at that hotel, and they'll still use my IATA number. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that works. It still works for me, but I had to, email just before this, my sales contact over there and just let her know that they don't want the contract. They're not going to sign the contract, but they still will make the reservation there. So those things do happen. I mean, that's happened maybe a couple of times before and it normally happens with, go ahead.
But that's a good conversation for the future. The difference between, your groups getting, the group rate versus individually. So they get better amenities if they, do a group, right? Did they have enough to qualify?
Yeah, it was they had about 15 rooms.
Yeah.
15 rooms for several nights.
And they were just scared about the contract, but
Yeah. Because it was more of a social group. It's not a corporate group, it's a social group, right? So meaning someone has to sign contracts, regardless if it's a social group, a corporate group, or whatever. Someone has to be responsible for those rooms. They don't just do it. Back in the day, and some hotels probably still do it. It's called a courtesy block. They'll do a courtesy block of rooms, and then but the cutoff date will be, it won't be a long time away. They're like, okay, we're going to do a cutoff date in a month. The event may be in 2 months, but they're going to do a cutoff date earlier than what they normally do. Because, like I said, this person didn't want to take on the financial responsibility because they do have to sign the contract. They do have to put their credit card down.
Right.
And
they're like, I don't know about this.
Exactly.
You know how you enter the group chat and you do the event, and then it's like 20 people interested. By the time you get to the date,
exactly.
So I mean, I get it. Sometimes it's like that, and you don't want to be the one holding the bag.
Yes. Yes. Holding the bag.
I hear you. Yeah,
so they said we ain't doing it. So I just
they said, look, you book it. I'm about buy a room, but you're
exactly. But they would have saved money. They would have saved some money, but it's probably going to be at least another $10 more, just to do it individually because they haven't made the reservation yet. So the group rate was set already. Okay,
see,
at 160. Now they're going to be paying 170, 175, something like that.
That's if they book now. What happens if they book next week?
Now. As you get closer to the date, the rate is going to go up. So there's benefits to doing a group, but I understand if everybody doesn't agree, and it's like I said, it's a social group. Everyone doesn't agree. I get it. I've probably done the same thing. So
hey, your people. So if you're a little hesitant, go ahead. I can completely understand, especially a social group. So all right.
Exactly. So okay. So what we talking about today? What's going on? What have you done this week?
What's in my world?
Yeah.
What was last week? It's all a blur. Last week was busy though. Last week was.
What you do? Who's so busy?
I have a few things in the pipeline at different points. So I have contracts are out. I have some logistics to handle for my on-site team. I have some sourcing. So everybody, and we're talking about 9 different properties, locations, all Marriotts because we're Marriott Preferred, but they're all in different stages. So it was just all over the place last week. So sometimes it's like that too. I think people don't understand, especially as independent planners, you got different programs at different phases. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's what was handled last week. What are we talking about? So week before that, wrapping up 2 events in the same week. And I brought this up to you. I was like, I spent a lot of time with these 2 properties. It was, they were back-to-backs, 2 different cities, 2 different locations. And I'm doing my, final, reconciliations, the billing, final bill. And I'm like, I didn't get a thanks for, I didn't get an email follow-up, or I didn't get a, hey, this, thanks for your business, nothing. So it's so funny too, because the 2 events were Wednesday, Thursday. I come back Monday and I'm expecting an email of them to say, hey, here's what happened. Here's what's, and I'm like, crickets. So I reached out and say, hey, like to take care and make sure that, just wrap up. Do we have a final bill? Do we have anything? And then it was something like, I'll reach out to the accounting and get back to you. I was like, And so I think that's what triggered my, well, did they even like us? I was like, cold. In comparison to, I have been communicating to both of these properties for the last 4 weeks. And I wasn't on site. So I'm like, wait, did something happen? Not even the generic, hey, thanks, thanks for the business. If anything comes up, let us know. Nothing, Russell. It was like,
wow.
It was like, here go your final bill. So I told, I was bringing that up to you about we talk about repeat business, we talk about building that relationship and continue that relationship. And a lot of those times I'm like, where's the follow-up? Are we not doing that anymore? Is it on me? Is it on me as a client, as a buyer, to reach out first? I feel a certain type of way why I had to reach out first. So can we talk?
We definitely could talk, because that doesn't make sense. Okay. Obviously, at least on your end, the program went well, right? Everything went well. There are no problems at all. And what I would do, is, and I put it on the screen here. Thank you for the business follow-up. That's should be the easiest thing to do. The business was just there. Everything went well. Even if it didn't go well, you want to follow up to see if there was some misstep somewhere. Did we do a good job? Or, kind of get your evaluation of the entire program. And if anything, that could lead to, do you have any, ask that extra question. Do you have any future dates that, we love having your group here. Do you happen to have any future dates? Blah, blah, blah. It can start a new conversation about maybe a new set of dates or whatever. Or maybe we can do something different in the next program. Things like that. So no, that's a bad on the hotel side. It has nothing to do with you. Yeah, you should follow because you want to know exactly how things went. Sure. Do you owe any money, extra money, or whatever?
Closing out the event. That's great. It's that extra touch point, because that's what I remember. Not let's take care of the details. It's hey Tiffany, let me just tell you, because I know you weren't on site. Everything was a hit. Da da da. Little recap. I think I've had that a few times, and I really appreciated that. But to your point, it's like, hey, if your future needs call for us again. I understand what you're talking about, getting even dates on the calendar, but even if I don't have anything right, we just closed the event. So if I don't have anything right now, keeping that open and then still following up a few months later for that, I would appreciate. But to your point, if anything, that first initial follow-up, come on. Right?
Yeah, no, that's a no. To me, it's a no-brainer. That's something you should do.
Thank you.
As the sales manager, the one that originally booked it, and even as the conference or convention services person, the one that serviced it, to make sure that everything was okay.
I will say, and like I said, this particular program, we're in 36 locations. We were in 24 last year. I have never received a follow-up email from the sales manager. Once the contract is done, when I tell you I don't hear from them again unless there was a discrepancy with the contract, that I was like, oh, wait, you said you were going to comp that parking, and then they tag them back in. But I have never had a thank you or a follow-up or an email from the sales manager. Conference manager, event manager, yes. Sales manager, no. Are
you kidding me?
To this day. We're talking about 25, 30 programs so far. Not one, I promise you, not one sales manager. I didn't even think that was a thing. I don't even expect that. I didn't even think that was for them to do, because I do not hear from them again.
You didn't think it was a thing? You didn't know that was a thing?
No.
That's ridiculous. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. How did they get? See that I always talk about this, and I talk about this on my probably another daily check-in that I do, and I talked about what's the, and I think I may have discussed it with you too. When's the best time to rebook something? Is when they're there, but the sales manager has to be the one to reach out to them, because it's the sales manager's job to get their repeat business. It's not the convention services is there to service it. Okay, that's what they do. Convention services, convention, whatever they call themselves. But they're there to service the event. Once the event is gone, they probably would follow up just to make sure like all the loose ends are tied or whatever. But you would think that the convention services person and the sales manager talk to each other and say, hey, I just followed up with them and blah, 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 blah. Hey, did you happen to know that they're having another program next year sometime? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and call them just to make sure, just to follow up. That's how it should work.
Okay.
But the salesperson should know this program just happened and I need to follow up because I want to rebook it, because it's easier to rebook something that's already been successful, that's been in your property, know how you are, than it is to go out and try to find something new. And that's where I got issues with. We're always looking for new business. Why don't we take care of the damn business that we have? Then we wouldn't have to continuously look for new business. That's the problem that I have with the way, you know, these sales departments. I mean, I'm not saying every sales department across the board works like this, but as we're having these conversations, you and I and other people that I talk to, it's more prevalent than I thought it was.
Yeah. No, that's interesting that you say that, you know, and you say, you know, in this perfect world, because I find that sometimes they're not even talking to each other. You know, the things that we've said with the sales manager don't get all communicated with the event manager. And then me as a client, I'm like, look, that's for y'all. Like, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I have to reiterate the conversation I had with our sales manager. Like, that needs to be shouted out to the, you know, on the mountaintops, to everybody as part of that process should know. And that is sometimes a peeve of mine, where I have to say, wait, we talked about this, or something's not, you know, adding up between that original contract. And think about it too, depending on that timeline. So we secured that contract months ahead of time, and now it's event time. You know, and that's why I keep everything in writing. You want to hop on a phone call? We can hop on a phone call, but we're still get it on email and say everything that's happened on that phone call, because all of a sudden you're like, I don't remember that.
Exactly. That's important.
So there needs to be an email communication chain. So, and let's not even throw things in the wrench where, you know, that sales manager from months ago, they're no longer there. Okay, well then it's on your job to go through all their communication. It really isn't my job to be like, well, back in June I talked to so and so. I don't want to have to do that.
That's true.
You know,
that's true. That is true. That just happened just last week or 2 weeks ago. I get this email from someone I don't know at this one particular hotel. Contract had just been signed maybe 2 weeks prior to that. Finding out that my sales contact is not there. We just signed a contract 2 weeks ago, and he's not there, and he's gone, right? And he's like, I'm taking over for him, which is good. I'm glad that, one hand, I'm glad that this happened. And people leave all the time. I understand the business.
Sure.
I get it. But I'm glad the guy followed up. He followed up and said, hey, just so you know, so-and-so left. I'm taking over, and this is what you need to give us. We need this payment.
Wow. They're like, give us our money.
And I'm like, I can't be mad. I cannot be mad at him. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, he's just doing his job, right? So, but I appreciate, and a lot of that doesn't happen though. I guess I said that to say a lot of that doesn't happen when people leave. We have to find that on our own, because we're trying to get a hold of them, and emails are bouncing back or phone calls are not being returned. And then we find out, you know, through someone else, oh, he left 2 weeks ago. Like, well, no one told me, no one thought enough to reach out and let me know. But I'm glad, and this is the Pacific Palms Hotel. I don't have a problem with shouting them out, because I do appreciate that, because that does not happen all the time. That when someone leaves, someone will pick up the phone, pick up the email, follow up, and say, "Hey, so and so left. I'm your new contact." So shout out to them. I appreciate.
I love that. Yeah, and you make a good point, because you as a hotel, you don't want us reaching out and saying, "Hey, so and so." So for them to be proactive, it's like, oh, thank goodness. Yes. Thank goodness. You know, and then that just kind of, for me, like I said, I always explain that, you know, sometimes I'm on site, sometimes I'm not. Now I feel confident, okay? Because that your guy reached out to you and said, like, we already know the bill that we already know the amount you owe. So that makes me feel confident that you are going to take my event seriously. You're going to be on there. If something happens, you're on top of it. I guess that's what it is. I feel like now you're on top of it, because you reached out first.
That makes a huge difference. So now I don't have to worry now
Right.
because he's on top of it. Now I have his email because I've already sent him a couple of emails too, and we did make the payment, So, so we're good.
He said, "Like, this is what you owe." Okay.
So
you know what? I don't know. We're still talking about this, but I just want to remember because you said something about following up and people reaching out. What about? Okay, so when someone leaves, and I told you about this situation, but what do you do when you're reaching out to someone and nothing? Like they're not responding back, and now you're wondering, like, do you still work here?
You mean like a lack of response or lack of
Oh
follow-up?
gosh, yeah. I'm going to say it's one of my peeves, but it's just something that just shouldn't happen. And, I get things happen. So we give grace periods. I'm not saying you need to turn around and then, in 24 hours. But if it's, we're talking about a half a week has gone by, like now I'm like, do you still work here? Like, is there something going on? Yeah. And then it gives you pause to be like, do I want to move forward with them? If I'm not, like, that initial lack of response is giving me pause.
Yeah,
right?
no, that you're right on. You're right on. I mean, yeah, when we respond or when we send out an email or a phone call or whatever, yeah, we expect to get a response. There's no excuse for not getting a response. But like I said, it can go to the person left, that kind of stuff. It can be one of those situations, or they're just so inundated, or they travel. Even when you travel, you still have to follow up on check your emails, check your voicemails, okay? Because some people still leave voicemail messages, okay? So we still have to keep up on that. And just because you're out of town does not mean you don't follow up, right? Although we love putting out those out of office memos and all that kind of stuff. But if I have something pending, I'm out of town on business. Now, if you're on vacation, okay, that's one thing. But who's in charge while you're on vacation?
Right, exactly. Well, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with out of office response. Like, now I know. But that lack of response when you just don't know, now you're like, okay, is this the right? And so with this particular contact, it's someone I met. So it's not like it's a cold email, it's a cold contact where I don't know they exist. We've communicated before. So, yeah. And so
is this still going on now? Is this still going on now? Yeah. And they still haven't responded.
I meant to do, before we hopped on, I meant to do a follow-up. But you know what, Russell? I hate following up on my follow-ups. Like, I done sent him I sent this person like a 3-paragraph, email details. So now I gotta bump it up and say, hey, can we talk about what I wrote? I hate that. So, but I am. When we get off, I'm gonna go ahead and follow up on my follow-up.
Just send an email in the subject matter. Are you still there?
You know what? I might just do that.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't and if they respond that they are there, then I will really be pissed off because that means they've seen your emails, they just haven't responded to them.
Yeah, and so that's my point. I'm like, okay, if you're out of office, just say that. Just that now I know. Because it's not something that's urgent. You know how people go on vacation and they're like, oh my God, if it's an emergency, there's very few things that are an emergency. That's not it. Okay. But it does have to do with business. It does have to do with potential business. It is not like, hey, how you doing? So I was thinking, no, this is a professional email. I want to talk about possible bookings for next year. I want the courtesy of the response.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah. So, I just say that to say, it gives us pause.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, some things just don't make sense. Some things, I wish I had a better answer, but some things just don't make sense. People are in their own world sometimes, but sales means you follow. I mean, part of the sales process is following up. I mean, that's just it. It's following up, especially like I said, when it comes to business that's already been there. You need to follow up. You need to communicate. We all need to know. We all have calendars. We have electronic calendars. I mean, I remember I still kept a 12-month calendar. So, and I write all my groups that were in on those particular dates, when they checked in, when they checked out. So it would be a reminder. I mean, it would be there. It's physical. It's there. I can see it, right? And I would know that, okay, when a group checked out, oh, they checked out today. Okay, that would prompt me to make a phone call. Or, you know, we all have Delphi or whatever. You can put notes in there too and get alerts and all that stuff. I mean, we have all this technology that we can use, or we have our phones, we have our computers, our laptops, or whatever. We have all this technology that tells us when we should communicate with the client, but we don't use it. Okay, we will offer excuses day in and day out why we didn't do it. You know what I mean? We don't want to hear that. Planners don't want to hear excuses. We just want you to follow up. That's all we're asking for, because guess what's on the other end of that business? If you do that one little thing, and this, I think that's a little thing to do, to follow up on something that already happened, that you know that it's been a great, you know, it was a great program for them and for your hotel, but you won't know if you're able to rebook it unless you follow up. But if the lack of follow up will cause you to lose the business. So I don't get it where we got to go get new business. No, damn it. Take her to business already been here. Go through all the files and all everything on Delphi or whatever system you use of past business. And you probably will get more business from that than what you're trying to get on new business. So you can tell that that irritates the heck out of me. I see Miss Cheryl. Hey, I'm looking over at Instagram. I see Miss Cheryl, all about the experiences. I see Charles, what's going on? Spellbound Jewelers. Follow up and send a survey. Good one. Good one.
Ooh, okay. Yes, the survey does. Yeah.
I like that. Cheryl has her thinking cap on today. Good one, Cheryl. So yeah, do a follow-up for a follow-up survey and see how things went. But
the
still,
someone has to cover some things. Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. But someone has to do that as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, what if we send, like, planners send a survey to them instead of them sending the survey to us?
What are we surveying? What are we asking?
What do you mean?
We sent a survey.
How was our group?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there was everything in order. Everything. I mean, do we owe any money? I mean, that could be part of it. Were there any complaints, any issues that they saw on their end? Right. I mean, the hotel wants things to see how the program was from their perspective, but we can, as planners, we want to see, what they thought about it, because maybe we want to rebook there, maybe we don't, depending on how they respond, depending on some of the things.
You know what I would love, and I know this is getting a little bit, a little different, but if you do this, I'll remember you always. If you reach out the day of the event, take a photo about, hey, just wanted to send you over the setup. Oh my gosh. Oh my, now I feel like you are committed to my event. It looks fantastic. Now, how hard is that? You come in, it's set up before attendees arrive. It's just a quick photo. It's personal. If you do that, I'm posting that on social and tagging you. I've never had that happen.
Exactly. Especially because they know you're not on property. You're not on property. That means they know the client. Right. So
now we're working together. We are in this together. That's how I feel. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to remember that. But it doesn't happen. I don't understand. I don't, you're in the room. Like like you said, we have all this technology, quick photo. But yeah, I'll get some photos on site, but that's usually when people are there. You're trying to cut out people's face so you don't, you know what I mean? Like you want to respect their privacy, but you have access to the room right before we get in. The quick little setup.
You are absolutely right.
You think I won't repeat business with you? How you know exactly our needs. You know the AV is set up. You know the right size screen. You know that we want crescents and not rounds, and it is set perfectly. And you send me a photo? Come on now.
Yeah, hotels, they miss out on opportunities for us to showcase their hotels. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because a lot of us will a lot of us are on social media. We will post things. We will tag them on there. The world can see that stuff, but they don't understand the power of visibility. And I always talk about it. And that's part of being visible. I mean, they're taking a picture as two things. They're going to ultimately be visible because you're going to post it, right? But it's the communication between you and them. It's building that, it's strengthening that relationship. Because you didn't expect that. They just did it.
Exactly. You know, and it's like that communication. Absolutely. I say, hey, look, that's a freebie for y'all. We gave you a good.
Yeah. We're teaching a master class up in this piece today.
That's a good tip.
So hotels, I mean, take heed to some of this stuff because it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to me, but maybe it doesn't make sense to them. I don't know, because there's a lot of I'm not gonna say there's a lot of things lacking, and I'm not saying every hotel across the board is not doing the right thing, but there's so many that are not, that they kind of overshadow. And I hate to say it. I mean, you just threw out things that hotels don't do. I mean, we just want them to follow up. We just want you to call me back. We just want you to send me. Are you still there?
Look, Russell, I was literally like, you could copy and paste. It could already be drafted. Like, I wasn't even expecting like personalization. It could be like, thank you for your business.
Exactly.
Let us know. And I'd be like, okay, that's a touch point for me. But I just think the difference between the ongoing communication, like I said, 4 weeks prior up until now, and then you just dropped it. So that's what I'm saying. That touch point should have kind of weaved everything in. We have been talking. We have built a rapport. You know me, you know, like, I mean, we're talking about 102 different email exchanges and phone calls. So and you just quiet. You don't end it.
They ghosted you.
So we gotta do that. Yeah, and you made a good point about furthering that relationship, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, no one wants to fight for more business when you already have the business there. I don't get it. Unless you're incentivized for getting new business, get the business that you know, get the low-hanging fruit. Okay. If numbers are just numbers, get the low-hanging fruit. I understand budgets. I understand, did I make my budget? I needed to make my numbers. Hey, been there. I'm the one that used to give those numbers out. So I know exactly what. And a lot of times, well, I don't know if it's changed, but new business is not part of it across the board, right? So business is business. So why not get the business that's already been there?
Right.
Just call them up. Remember that relationship? You spent all that time building that relationship. The program went well, and they may not want to rebook at that hotel. I don't know. They may go, we alternate east and west or north and south.
Sure.
Okay, I understand that. Well, at least make that initial call or email or follow up just to say, hey, we would love to have you back. And if they can't come back because of whatever logistics, then I understand that. But a lot of us we're not even asking that question.
Right.
Because I plan, you plan, I plan. Right. I don't get that question. Like, hey, how can we rebook this? Oh my God, I think I would probably faint if someone asked me that. How can we rebook this piece of business? Let's get it on the books for next year. Or when are you coming back here? I mean, those questions, I would love those questions, but a lot of times salespeople don't ask those questions. So
right. Funny enough, like that one of those locations, I mean, fantastic location. And so, you know, I don't hear that often from every location, but they're like, hey, we want to be back here. And it's so funny how I heard that, but then I'm like, I guess it was just that missed opportunity to really like secure, like you said. So yeah.
But hey,
I get it. It's hard.
We need to follow up. Lack of response / follow up for potential business. We need to follow up.
Yeah.
There's
and
no
I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was just kind of thinking about my inbox. I was like, I know, you know, a lot of things going on, and, you know, of course, that's what I'm focused on, somebody not responding back. But I do want to mention, when you do follow-ups and you do reach out, it's okay to keep it going. So even if you were to do that follow-up after the event, I'm okay hearing from you 2 or 3 months down the line. Put that on your calendar. I need to see top of mind anyway. Right?
That's a good one. That's, you know what? That's a good one. Why do you think they're bothered? Yeah, they shouldn't think they're bothering the planner, right? The planner wants to hear from you. They want to hear. They want to continuously build that relationship.
Yes.
Because you never know. And guess what? Just like hotel people leave, planners leave too. They take on other responsibilities. They leave and go other places. So the stuff that you may not think they're planning today, tomorrow may be different because now they're with a new company, a new organization. They have new clients. I mean, so it is really important to keep that relationship going. Okay, so don't just stop just because, oh, they're never going to book here again. You know, you don't know that. You don't know who else they know. You know what I mean? So, or who else is calling them? Like, I get planners call me saying, hey, you know what? I never booked at this hotel before, but I think you booked there before. Would you think about it? Blah, blah, blah. And then we have this whole conversation about, you know, some place that they never been, that I happen to be there. And like, hey, this is what I would recommend. This is what I would, you know, I would at least reach out to them or follow up with them or whatever. So
we do that all the time. So I don't know how many suppliers understand how we have our own kind of like planner channel. Like we'll text somebody and be like, hey, what do you think about this? No, don't go there, but go here. You know, so we, I think I text you. I was like, hey, I need something by the airport. You were like, and we do that very casually, but based on our experiences. And if I know that you recommend something, okay, you're my eyes. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with that. Just on the flip side about if you have a bad experience, you'd be like, look, don't. And I'm like, I'm not even gonna question it. I'm not going to dig and try to book something when I know you had a bad experience because I don't want to set myself up for it. So, you know, that degrees of separation between planners is so small.
Yeah.
You mess with one planner, you're messing with like 100 other planners. I'm sorry, you don't your business because once you say I'm not going there, I'm like, well, I'm not either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't say that place sucks. Oh no, hell no. Don't say that.
Well, it just goes to show you don't know who you have in your house and you need to. So, and I get it. When things go wrong, how are you going to make it right? And if you're not making it right, it's going to leave that bad taste in that planner's mouth. And I promise you, they're going to tell. See, our communication chain is so large because not only are we going to tell the next planner, we're going to tell the planners at the event. That's hundreds of other planners. So it's just, it multiplies quickly.
Yeah. Everybody gets together. All the planners get together, all these events that we get invited to, and everybody's just chatting it up, talking about this, talking about that. You know, so yeah, this is a good hotel, or this person didn't call me back. Oh, that's the person right there that they never called back. You know, believe me, all those things are happening.
Don't be with me during IMAX. Oh, okay, I see that person that did. When I tell you I will hold a grudge, you're gonna be like, what happened? I'm like, well, 2 years ago, they said they were gonna follow up and they didn't.
Oh yeah, and I know for a fact that she holds some long ass grudges.
Oh, okay? for real. You're dead to me. We're done. We won't.
Yeah, but me, you know what? In order to smooth things over, all I need is a beer and some French fries, and I'm good.
You don't stop with these beer and French fries. Please
upload this smooth things over. You want to get an RFP, beer and some French fries, and
that. Leave that in last year. Yeah.
Hey.
Russell can be bought. If you buy him French fries and a beer, he will send you over an RFP, just so you know.
That's all I need.
That's all it takes.
Easy. Yeah. So anyway, hey, we're on with Miss Tiffany English. She comes on Mondays, every Monday, about 9:00. We normally do this. We just talk about things that, you know, happen to be on our mind. I mean, lack of response, follow up. Those are things that seem to be a reoccurring theme. Okay, which it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a reoccurring thing. So if there's some salespeople on here, let's just make sure. And this is not to rag on anything, but it's just to make people better. It's to bring out things that maybe you don't think about or whatever. But as a salesperson, we have to follow up. In order to get more business, you have to continuously follow up. It's the relationship. It's the long game. It's the marathon. It ain't the sprint. Okay. That's just it. And for people that go to all these conferences and, trade shows and whatever, and think that we're going to walk out of it, if you're a hotel person, think you're going to walk out of there with business, you're sadly mistaken. That is not going to happen. Okay. If anything, you should be trying to walk out with relationship, with information about maybe their programs, information about them. And then maybe you highlight that when you follow up, if you do follow up, talk about, briefly, oh, I remember that you said you did this, or you were from here and blah, 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 whatever it is, something personal about those people. And they're more likely to send you things, right? To continue the conversation. But we have to do that. It's all about relationship building first. Business will come second. Okay. It will come eventually, but you have to work it. I remember just the other day, a couple of days ago, a friend of mine, good friend of mine, buddy of mine, grew up together, right? So he's not related, he's not in the hotel industry, but he said he was talking to this person who was in boat sales, okay, like yachts, okay? He said they build a relationship with those people about it takes like 3 to 5 years for it to get to that point. 3 to 5 years of them constantly communicating with them, because they initially were introduced to them somehow about they're interested in a boat or a yacht, right? Well, from initial stage to when they actually will buy it, it could be like 3 to 5 years. So you're constantly having conversations, constantly following up. And then eventually, well, hopefully it does, but hopefully you have things in your pipeline too, right? You're not just talking about that one person. You're not trying to get business from that one person, but there's a lot of people that you're doing that with, right? And eventually the big payoff is there, because a yacht is what? I don't know, $3, $10, $20 million or something like that. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing that we do. It's just that it's on a bigger scale, of course, but it's the same kind of thing. It's all about the relationship. So continue with the relationships. That's where it starts. It doesn't start with everyone has an RFP. Where's that RFP? We want that business. Well, damn it, ain't gonna happen like that. Yeah.
No, it's the long-term game. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And when you get that, absolutely. We talk about that all the time. That building and growing that relationship. And hopefully somebody's listening, because when you start the email communication with, hey, do you have any RFPs for me? I know how to send RFPs. If I do have one, I don't need you to ask me. I'm sorry, because I'm thinking about like emails, and I'm still getting emails from like SMU, like, hey, do you have any RFPs? And I'm like, can you remind me of your destination and why I need to send this? Because I when I have it, I will send it. I promise you, I don't need your permission. I don't need you in my inbox saying, you got an RFP? Oh yeah, by the way, here you go. It just doesn't work that way. Usually it's me initiating that RFP, because you have been on my mind. You have sent an email. You have updated me in your location. You told me about the latest renovations. You told me, when it was coming. You told me, here it is. You sent me some photos. You gave me the location, the clearest next to the airport. Hey, this and this. Hey, I can help you with this. You told me about who the DMCs are. You told me about the weather. You told me so much that now I'm like, hey, I just sold this location to, my team. Here's your RFP. Now, if you didn't do all of that, leave me alone. Like, why? Why are you starting this email exchange with, do you have an RFP, when you have not given me a reason to send it to you? That's all I'm going to say.
Well, you said a mouthful right there, young lady.
I did.
Mouthful. That's good. That's good. I like that. I like that. So shout out to, I see, Sweet Life of a Hotel Sales Girl. So hopefully you're listening to this, Sweet Life of a Hotel Sales Girl. In fact, aren't we supposed to do something together, a collaboration or something? I see Spellbound Jewelers. I see Tom, Lena, and Langston. What's going on? I see All About the Experiences. That's Miss Cheryl, and I see Charles Skip. I see you as well. So thank you guys so much for joining this quick little live. What time is it? We've been on here 45 minutes. Yeah, we do this. Tiffany and I do this. This is a daily check-in with Russell of Hotels, but on Mondays, it's devoted to Miss Tiffany coming in here and bringing the fire, bringing the thunder with some topics that, you know, obviously got getting on her nerves, okay? Because she got to talk about it.
I got to talk about it. Yeah. I got to talk about it. It happens. But, you know, it does help me kind of see that I'm not alone. It's happening, you know? So we talk about these, and maybe you just don't know. So I like to give my insight from the planner side. So yes, you know, maybe you're like, hey, I don't know if I should follow up. Yes, you do. You should.
Yes, definitely. So when I bring Tiffany on, so you can hear from another perspective, because, you know, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, but yeah, it's good. And with Tiffany, we don't talk about this. Oh, we're gonna talk about this today, and you're gonna say this. No, these are Tiffany's thoughts, okay? And I don't think I could tell her anything anyway. So she's a piece of work. Okay?
Whatever. I feel like, you know, we got a lot of opinions on a lot of the same topics because it happens a lot here in our industry. So, you know, we keep it very organic. We don't rehearse, right?
No, we don't.
Can you tell? Can you tell this is not rehearsed? So no, but and these are real life examples. These are things that I'm dealing with on a day to day, and then getting your insight from the hotel side. And I hope that helps, you know, and it helps having a better working relationship, because that's the whole point.
Exactly. And one thing about, okay, and this has to do with you, Tiffany. Tiffany has mentioned on numerous occasions that she does 30 programs a year. 30. How many people have watched this show and called you, Tiffany?
No. No one. No, zero.
So I know there's hotel and DMO, CVB people that watch this show because they make comments to me all the time, right? I see them. I know. 30 programs per year that she's responsible for.
Well,
but not one person is sent out there, not one hotel CVB person has reached out to her and say, hey, how can I get on that list for one of these 30?
Yeah. And you make a good point. You make a good point about top of mind. And it's actually 36
today by Waterloo Water.
Don't do that unless they're paying you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying. Now you can make me lose my train of thought. No, I'm saying, okay, so it's actually 36 programs that just keeping top of mind. And so, funny enough, I had to plan. I was in charge of planning a happy hour, just a casual, simple women's happy hour for April, and they were like, hey, you know, what's the location? I was like, I don't know. I'll look into something. Like I said, busy week, didn't have time. And all of a sudden I get an email that says, yada, yada, happy hour. And I'll just say it. It's STK here in Chicago. And I'm like, done. I've been there before. I knew they had this happy hour. I know the location. They came in my email, you know, and I was like, I don't have time to look, done. And that's just an example of when you are, you know, continuously communicating and making sure that you're top of mind, the business is there. So when you say, is anyone reaching out to me? I'm like, no, but why wouldn't you? And we're in the same market. If you know I'm doing these corporate programs, you know that I'm Marriott Preferred. Hey, Marriott, where are you?
Wow. Putting out brands now. You put brands on blast.
That's definitely, you know, a program that we use a lot of Marriotts. If you're a destination, we talk about, you know, luxury destinations. Where are you? So I wasn't going to say it. You're the one who brought it up, talking about how many people reached out. I wasn't even going to say that. But it's interesting that why wouldn't you?
That's why I say that, because
why wouldn't you?
Somebody is there talking about business, right? talking about the business they do you talk about this. I mean, you've talked about it before. It's just that I happened to bring it up this year. And I think it was last year the last time I brought it up. But I just remember that, like, you know, people think that we just on here talking, right? I mean, yeah, we are talking. Yeah, we are on here talking, shooting the shit, whatever. But for hotel people on the other end that can benefit from what we're saying, those are people that need to be, you know, listening, reaching out or whatever and saying, oh, I didn't realize that she had it like that or she's doing that. Reach out because you never know what people have, right? But I'm telling you, and she just confirmed it, that Tiffany has 30. What'd you say? Did you say 28, 30?
I said 36. You said 30. We're up there. We're up there. And that's just
there you go. And you're Marriott Preferred. So you basically you just basically mapped it out for someone.
Yeah.
And you meet all over the United States?
Yeah. So this is, we have a nationwide, program. So West region, Northeast region, Southeast region. So we cover all of it. So, and think about if, you know, what we're talking about with a follow-up, what are our needs? And this is, I feel like, Russell, we're giving a good blueprint on how to like work with planners and how to do more business. So if you're saying like, oh, look, I can do that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to send you a photo right now. If somebody emails me right now and says, hey, I'm going to take a photo of our ballroom, I will fall out. I'll fall out. But I'm just saying that those are the things that connect us. And those are the things that help you rise above the competition. Your competition isn't doing that. You know?
Say that again. What'd you just say? Say that again.
You do those things to rise above the competition because that's not what your competition is doing.
Exactly. You're absolutely right.
That's it. Top of mind, doing these things, and it shouldn't feel awkward to do. We're asking you for it. We're being receptive to it. Yeah. So
Hey, doesn't make sense to me, but that's okay. We're gonna continue to talk about it because until things, people start acting on it. But I mean, we come on and do this. I mean, I do a daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and every time I do the daily check-in as well as on air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about, I'm always showcasing a hotel. And I make it a point, like say, I showcase hotels on this show, right? Because contrary to popular belief, everyone does not know your hotel exists, okay? So do something, just like Tiffany said, do something that your competition is not doing. You know, reach out and say, hey, how do I get my hotel showcased on your show? You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, in front of 30,000 people or whatever. I mean, why wouldn't anyone do that? You know what I mean? I guess it's kind of the same thing. She's offering business. I mean, I have business as well, but Tiffany is talking about immediate business, 36 programs. She's being specific about how many programs she does a year, right? And she's being specific about the brands that she uses. They're Marriott Preferred, the big M. You know, I drank the juice years ago with Marriott, okay? So come on now. So, and then, like I said, this platform is here for your hotel to be, or your destination. And let's see, can I just jump over?
We got some photos. Okay.
Visit Knoxville. Okay. Some things in Knoxville. Knoxville, Tennessee. Who knew, right? Who knew that Knoxville had all these things going on over there? Okay. But this is a Marriott property.
Marriott Knoxville.
Yeah.
So, and interesting enough, too, we talked about her whole planner communication network. I haven't been to Knoxville. You talked about it, and I'm like, oh, let me get some insight. So the fact that you come in and post one location, now I'm like, oh, that's now on my radar. That's cute. And then think about, so you made a point of saying not everyone knows your hotel. Even if we do know your hotel, has it been recently renovated? Have you changed the lobby? Are there any other room upgrades?
Yep.
Like, why aren't we knowing that information? Why can't you communicate that? You know, this is an easy way to do that if you don't want to do it on your own channels or you're hesitant or, just being able to showcase any hotel.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
There we go. Well, we getting a lot of information today. A lot of stuff. A lot of good information. I think it's just that
Yeah.
it's all about the follow up, regardless of regardless of what we say. At the end of the day, if you're not following up, you're not getting any business. Okay. Because I don't know anyone that's getting business without follow up. Okay. So you have to follow up. You have to continuously follow up. If you just had a program there, like Tiffany just had a program at whatever hotel that was, you have to follow up. What is the hotel? Can you tell us what the hotel was? Because you never told us. I'm just asking.
No, I'm not throwing them out there like that. No. No.
Woo-hoo. But it was a Marriott, right?
Yes. It was a West End.
It was a West End, which is part of the Marriott family. So,
and then it was third. So that's a whole other conversation with these, hotel.
We'll say that for next year.
Those hotel groups are different. So maybe that's a different system, but between franchise versus not, and that's a whole other.
Yeah, there's a big difference. So you put that down. Let's talk about that next week. Franchise versus
corporate. Is it
corporate managed? Not necessarily all corporate owned anymore, but corporate managed or a management company. So there's a difference between all that stuff. It could be owned by one person, but that or one company, but that doesn't mean that's who manages it. So sometimes you have to actually ask, like, who is your management company? Because you ask them, like, say your last salesperson. Okay, I don't even know what that hotel is. It could have been a Marriott hotel, but that doesn't mean they're owned by Marriott. It could be owned by somebody else. Or ask people, get in the habit of asking, hey, do you work for a management company? And they'll tell you. Like, oh yeah, I do. I work for whatever XYZ management company. Blah 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 blah. So because that tells a lot right there. That tells a lot of the story about responses or lack of response. Yes. Because no one's feet is being held to the fire. Some management companies don't do a training like they used to, so they rely on people from other people with quote unquote experience. They hire those people because they've already been trained, and then I'm not putting them through another training and all this kind of stuff, right? Other than maybe the training on the particular software that they use to book business or whatever. Yes. Like with Marriott, they have their own system, right? They don't use a Delphi system; they use their own Marriott system, like Hyatt and Hilton. You know what I mean? So they may train them on that. But as far as how to be a manager, how to, why you need to follow up and all that, that stuff has to be ingrained in you already before you even go to another property. And sometimes those habits follow people to other properties. And God forbid, the director of sales has that same habits, because that's going to filter down to the salespeople.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
See, I ain't holding back today. I'm not holding back today.
I see.
So yeah, so those are some things that that's kind of not just unpeeling that onion. I mean, that's going layers and layers deep. But I can do that because I've been on both sides, right? And I know where we are, where we came from, and I know where we should be. And we're not 100% where we should be, because like I said, it all comes down to where we started this conversation: is the follow-up, is the lack of follow-up, is building those relationships, is asking for the business that's right in front of us, instead of like we're always chasing new business. You know what I mean? So all that stuff. So but anyway, that's it. So I think we've been on long enough here. We've been on like 59 minutes. So any parting words there, Miss Tiffany?
I think we covered a lot. We covered it all, as far as just like you said, follow up, stay top of mind. That's it. Really.
Yes. Follow up.
Simple. Don't make it complicated. Do not make it complicated.
Don't make it so complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, and I will say, so I know we always talk about Mondays, but you know where I'll be on next Monday?
No, I don't. Where are you going to be?
I'll be out on the seas. Well, no, I'll just be getting back.
Oh, you're taking another cruise. You're going on
Margaritaville at sea.
Wasting away again in Margarita.
So if you want to do Tuesday, if you want to pretend like Tuesday is Monday.
No, because I have my own show on Tuesday to do.
All right.
So
well,
we can do it on Wednesday.
All right.
Let's do it next Wednesday then.
Let's do next Wednesday.
Since you can't do it live from the cruise ship, right?
No. Yeah, we'll talk on Wednesday because some of these cruises they want that corporate business, but y'all gotta perfect your Wi-Fi.
Okay. See, that's another thing you talk about. So we never really talked about cruise ships.
Yes.
What are the amenities for corporate groups and things like that? I mean, that's your assignment. So your assignment is to find someone in sales and say, hey, what are the amenities for corporate groups? What's the benefit of a corporate group? Having a meeting on a cruise ship.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Because I've never done it. I mean, IMEX, cruise ships are always there, right? They're always represented. But I never met with them. I never met with them to ask them, like, what the heck do you have? Why would my groups want to be on the cruise ship?
So it's and I will say it's not gonna. So they want corporate business, but not all corporate business would work. Because if you want a dedicated meeting, that's different. Now I do have colleagues that have done incentive trips on cruises. So that's something good. We'll to be continued.
Okay, write this stuff down.
To be continued.
Okay, did you write it down so you remember?
No, but we have it live.
Just like the salespeople need to write things down and follow up, you need to write things down.
I'm not writing it. I got it here. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, okay.
Till next time.
Sounds good. All right. Well, safe travels to you. Appreciate you coming on, and thank everyone for joining, especially the people on Instagram. Skip, Cheryl, Spellbound Jewelers, Tom, Blanks, Lena, Sweet Life of a Hotel Sales Girl. We're supposed to do a collaboration, girl, so you need to reach out to me. And then Venetia 3 joined. So hey, we appreciate you coming on. That's Tiffany. I'm Russell. We do this every Monday. Well, other than next Monday, I guess she's going to be on a cruise, so we'll have to maybe do it on Wednesday, but we'll let you know. So we'll let you know. Normally we do about 9:00 in the morning, either on Monday or Wednesday. So there you go. And then also I do a show called On Air with Russell of Hotels. I think show number, I don't know what it is, 338 will be tomorrow. So that's every Tuesday at 1:00 PST. I'm in LA. She's in Chicago. So there you go. So that's it. So you guys have a great day. Happy Monday. And hopefully you had a great Easter weekend. And that's it. So until next time.
All
you got any words to say? Peace. Is that it?
Peace.
Okay.
Okay,
peace.
bye.